Jeg hører ikke deg. Jo, nå hører jeg deg.
Hallo?
Yes, det funker.
Ja. Oi, er det lyden? Hører du meg nå? Hallo? Nå hører jeg meg selv igjen på streamen. Skal vi se om control room laster da. Det tok litt lang tid, dette her. Der kommer control room, kanskje. What? Men hvis jeg tar share screen nå, skal vi se.
Men nå kan jo ikke folk stille spørsmål og sånn da.
Det er sant. Men kan du broadcaste min skjerm nå?
Skal vi se.
Nå fikk jeg control room her, tror jeg. Nei.
Present to everyone.
Ja, da rykker du. Se skjermen.
Nå tok jeg present to everybody. Det var det som funket.
Funker på streamen, ja. Men jeg tror kanskje man må bare følge med på chatten, så folk skriver spørsmålene sine på chatten.
Ja.
Chatten. Det var noen særdeles saucy thumbnails på noen bilder her i suggested-videoene. Men det å bruke hangout sånn her og de greiene der, det er nesten litt snidig hatt til dailies og sånt. Du kan jo archive alle dailies, så hvis man er usikker på noe, så bare, vi går bare tilbake og ser hva vi sa for noe. Ja, den er automatisk recorder når du gjør det.
Put that funky dress on.
For noen idioter.
Hei. Det er myta du nå.
You can make my life. Wanna stay out till late. It is a smooth fast day. Wanna think life is great within the smooth fast day. Wanna talk with my friends. I wanna flirt and I don't care if it's good, it's just a smooth.
Hello?
Hello, and welcome to our show.
Hører du meg?
How are you?
What is that music?
Okay, we have 14 viewers live. And doing an experiment to record this session, and we can have unlimited viewers. So, Megan, you're gonna present Circle K ID to everyone.
Holy crap, it's on YouTube? Yes.
Hell yeah, brother. Yes. So I don't know how interactive this can be. Gonna have to use the chat on YouTube, I guess. Okay. You guys want to tell us when we can start? Because as far as I can tell, we have 16 viewers. Woohoo! And if anyone wants to come on and quiz, I will post the Hangout link, which will be the interactive link. And then if you just want to watch, you can just stay on YouTube. If you want to interact, you can use the Hangout link that I will post on Slack. I hope you guys can hear me.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, yeah.
Okay, because I had the YouTube link open as well, so I was hearing you talk through the Hangout link and the YouTube link, and it was like,
Just
I
mute,
was like, what's happening here?
because the YouTube link is a few seconds after.
Right.
Yeah. But if anyone wants to be interactive and ask questions, just come online on the Hangout and you can talk. If you just want to watch, you can watch through the YouTube link. It's unlimited viewers, and you can chat on YouTube as well.
Okay, I think Anders is going to need a link too, because he's going to be demoing part of it as well.
Yeah, sure. I posted the link on the Avengers channel.
Okay, cool. So I think we need to wait a little bit because Mikhail is coming. He's running a little late, but he's in traffic, I think, and he was going to do like an introduction for everyone. So I think it's probably best if we wait for him if we can,
Okay.
if that's cool with everyone.
I don't know how many people can be on the Hangout link, but we can just try. Hopefully, all up to 25 can be there, and then the people who don't want to interact can come on the YouTube link.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hello, hello. I'm looking at you.
Yep.
That is correct.
Staring
You're on
deeply
YouTube
into
as
your
well.
eyes.
I can decide who gets to be on the show.
Ah. What else you can do?
Yeah, that would be cool. But I don't think it supports this multiple presenters and all this stuff. Not that I've used it, but from the use case it's designed for, I would be surprised. No, okay. No, don't listen to me. I'm just standing here talking. No one's listening. You have 3 feeds.
Yeah.
Live, Hangout, and YouTube.
Oh,
Hello.
Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes.
I have to sing as well. I hope not.
Everybody sing.
Circle the kid thing. I think we need some like da 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 da. Some pump it up music.
Yeah.
Adventure. Don't forget to tip your waiter. That smooth jazz.
From my Spotify playlist. Let's lounge it up.
Summer in Paris, Summer in Paris. Summer in Paris.
Not that, the video call school.
So who are we waiting for again?
We're waiting for Mikal. He said he was going to be 15, so he'll probably be another 5, I guess, from now. Is that okay if we wait?
Yeah.
I know we got a lot of people on the call.
So this thing was scheduled for 10:15. That's what I have my calendar anyway.
Oh, so he's going to be right on time then. We're just all early.
Why can't I be on the call?
On the Hangout?
Yeah.
You can. I posted a link for it.
Yeah, but
Just
it's
join the
full.
Hangout. Oh, it's full. Oh, okay. Because everyone joined the Hangout link instead of the YouTube link.
Fuck! Well, can we sit in the meeting room?
We can. If the network reaches there, you can go there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Do you know if the Wi-Fi covers the distance?
Yeah, risk it.
Then I will lose the control room.
You can't lose it. I do it.
No.
Yeah, I did that. I don't have access to this page, it says.
What? All right, there you go.
Hello. Okay, so should I start?
Hi. Yeah, I think we're ready. We were waiting on you, so.
Yes, take it away.
Okay, give me a second. I need to start up my presentations.
In the meantime, Ola, is there a limit for people in this hangout?
Yes, in this Hangout there seems to be a limit of 10. So please, everyone who doesn't intend to be interactive, drop out of the Hangout and use the YouTube link.
but we face the problem that we lose connection. But the connection related, yeah, this connection we lose. This connection is dropped for every how to say it, every job. So right now, if the connection is going to be dropped,
What's going on here now?
I think it was just something from Mikhail's mic.
The background? That was
Yeah.
very good background.
It was another Michał in the office.
Another meow.
Yes, we have
Inception.
plenty of them. You can call Michał and Samuel also. Well, you can be 100% sure.
Okay, so we will start with administrative interface. So you need to give me a bit more time to 1 minute.
I think Anders can demo that. Yeah. If you want to just do a short intro. And then,
Yeah, that would be perfect. Okay.
so if you want to do the intro and then I can do the customer and then Anders will do the admin.
Great. So as far as the intro, how do I share a screen in this interface? This one. Oh, maybe I don't need to show anything actually. So we will present CircleKit today. I hope that you will better understand what this project is about, and most importantly, how you can use that in your projects, or how you can use it in the organization. So we will try to describe you what CircleKit offers and what it is, and we'll also go through the single sign-on, which is the most important functionality that we have to offer so far. But I will try to touch on other subjects like governing user data and creating a market of user data with an attempt to build an ecosystem around CircleK ID and other CircleK systems. In a similar fashion to what Google, Facebook, and other companies like that try to do with their services. So the first and basic purpose of CircleKit is to be a single login gateway for all CircleK systems. At the current point, we actually aim CircleKit to only be used by customers, not internal employees. So anyone that is employed by CircleK will still log in through our existing Oracle solution, but all customers will be, all of their data will be stored in CircleK ID, and we will be able to let users manage their data through OAuth protocol, because CircleK ID is an implementation of OAuth version 2 protocol, and we implement various functionalities based on that protocol. So that's a short introduction, and I would like now Anders to show you the administrative interface, and we will try to gradually introduce you to the rest of the UI and how it works.
Yeah, sure. Let me see. How do I? Oh, someone chose that for me. Okay. Yeah. So the admin UI is pretty simple. It doesn't look anything special. It's there for the administrators. Right now, it's in Norwegian. I'll just change it to English. All translatable and log in. really basic dashboard, total users and applications. The main thing first is the actual OAuth apps. You can list the existing ones, get some information, just generate new secret tokens and stuff like that. So you have a little basic app, information you can change there, and you can add new apps pretty easily. Just you need name, callback URLs, opt-out URLs, and update callback URL. So you need some information to start, and then you can choose which regions or countries the app should be available to. So it'll only be available for users that have that country stored on the user profile, which I guess Megan will come back to later. Yeah, I won't bother making an application now. Then you have user administration, which is just a listing of users. There'll be some simple filters, but there's not that many users right now, so you can see them all. What you can do with the users is basically if sometimes they don't really know how to reset their password, even though it's fairly simple from the front end for the customers. You can click reset password, just wait a little bit, and it sends out an email with a reset link to the users, to the registered email here. And then you can block and unblock users pretty easily, and you can see that in the overview. Yeah, I think that's actually everything for the admin UI, so I'll just pass it on to the next person.
Cool. Whoa. So I'm going to walk you guys through the customer UI and show you sort of everything from the Circle Kid perspective. I'm going to mute. Let's see. I'm going to share. Oof. Do you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so this is the like non-customized, just vanilla Circle Kid that a customer would see. So first thing I'm going to do is show you our registration process. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to register a new user. So I'll do some phone number, and I'm going to send a code because I want that phone number to be verified. And so I get the code to my phone and I put it in here. Also have a link here for resending the code. So if they made a mistake and entered the wrong number, they can go back and send a new code, or they can also sorry, my guard's asking me something. So they're going to verify their code here. And here's our second step of our registration. I go ahead and put in my information here. Password is here until then you start typing and you see the rules that we require for our password. And we have a strength meter here that says like when you've actually reached the password rules. So here it's now a good enough password to proceed. Put in my name, my initials. So this region is pre-populated based on the country code I entered when I sent the verification code. So if I want at this point, I can change it. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it for Sweden. And I'm going to accept the terms and conditions for Circle K ID. So this is the basic dashboard. It's pretty empty right now, which I'm going to change in a little bit and show you guys. But before I do that, I want to walk you through what we have here. So we obviously have a language selector. We can change it to Danish, English, and Norwegian right now. We also have high contrast for accessibility. And importantly, this is where a user can manage their data that we have on them. So for instance, here I can add, my full name. I can add zip code. We have gender as optional. We have birthday as optional, and we have also methods for additional authentication. So for two-factor authentication, if they want to verify with their email or SMS. So I'll save that really quick just to show you. So it's saved. I'll refresh just to show that the changes are actually kept. And that's the basic account details that they can update right here. But then up here, we have some sort of like password protected settings. So you can change your email, and that requires you to enter your existing password. Same thing with your phone number. If you want to change that, you have to enter your password. And also, if you want a new password, you would do that here. So for changing a phone number, for instance, I'm going to update this, enter my password, and hit save. And this is going to ask me to verify that change. So that will have triggered another SMS with a code. And I put that in here and verify it. Then it saves the information. We can go back to change phone, and you can see that my change of the phone number is down to 1. So that is basically the account settings and details. But the more important thing is right now, I want to show you how we authenticate third-party apps. So right now we have no applications, so it's kind of a sad dashboard. So we are going to make this a happy dashboard. So we have, can you guys still see my screen here?
I can.
Okay, cool. So this is our demo client. It's called Like a Boss. It's something we built as we've been, working on this Circle K ID. So this would mimic something like Extra 2 or any of the other Circle K, applications that would use Circle Kid to log in. So to demonstrate, for instance, how Extra 2 would look, I'm going to show you our customized UI. So this is going to, for the user, this is important because if you're in an Extra 2 app, you want it to look and feel the same way when you go to log in. You don't want to feel like you're somewhere on a different app all of a sudden. It needs to be a seamless process to the user. So that's what we do here. So if you notice, this looks a lot different than the regular vanilla Circle Kid screen. This is the Extra 2 styling. So I'm going to go ahead and log in with the account that I just created. Log in. And here it's going to ask me if I'm going to allow to share my information with that third-party app. So I can say allow. And it redirects me back to the demo client, which would be Extra 2. And if I go back to my dashboard, so Circle K ID dashboard, now you can see that this demo client application lives here. And eventually it would have all of the applications that I've given access to. We have a few settings here. I can see what permissions I'm sharing with that application. And if I decide, I don't want to share that information anymore, I want to revoke access to that, I can just do so here. And I hit confirm, and then now I have no applications. So that's the basics of what Circle K ID is right now. And I will show you lastly very quickly this is the Extra 2 app on QA. So I'm going to actually log in and show you guys how this looks. So this would be logging in with Circle K ID, and this is the extra dashboard. If I go up here, this has some information. If I go here and I see my name is Sylvia Stone, here's my name, here's my phone number, and I want to update that. This is going to take you back to the screen I just showed you in Circle K ID of the account details, and I can make these changes here. So change my name to Pearson and save. And if I go back and refresh to the extra app, you'll see that now it's Sylvia Pearson, not Sylvia Stone. And that's done through Circle K ID. So I think that is the basics of what I wanted to show you guys today. And I think I'll switch it back over to Mikhail.
I have a quick question about the name change.
Sure.
Does it do the extra 2 app query for the profile information on every page view, or is there some kind of notification from Circle K ID back to Extra Club when you change your name?
Say that again.
We would have to look this up in Extra 2. I'm not sure. They do get notifications, but how it's done, how it's the display is done, I'm not sure.
But okay, so what's the protocol for the notification?
What's the protocol for notification? We just notify interested clients, that is an application like Extra, that the user's data has changed, so they can look it up or do whatever else they want. And we also notify if the user wants to sign out and deletes their account.
But is it a webhook, like you call a URL on their site?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now I will take over, and I will explain you what was happening when Megan was logging in from Extra. Let me quickly share a screen. Okay. Okay, so if you recall the screen when Megan showed various options of logging from our sample application. So the Extra doesn't have that. It only allows login through Circle K ID. So when I enter Extra address, because it doesn't have any landing page, it will redirect immediately to Circle Kit page. And this is what I'm now doing. And anytime you want to, for instance, try to log in with Google or Facebook, first you need to go to those services and define your application. And this is also what happens in Circle K ID. And Anders showed you the interface that this is done with. And this ID is embedded in the URL here. So this is the idea of Extra application that wants to log in. So whenever you arrive at Circle K ID page, we identify the application that you want to join with this thing and explain that you want to log in to Extra too. So now I'm going to switch between my presentation and this one. So if there's any lag, let me know. So this is the first step. The browser goes to Extra 2. Does everyone see the slide?
It is working, yes.
Okay. And Extra 2 responds with redirect to Circle K ID, to authorize endpoint, and passing client ID. And then we display the specified login screen. So I will log in as well. I might show you what is happening in the network so that we have a better view. I will see if I will succeed actually on that. Okay, so what we did now is we entered the password and we're redirected back to Extra 2 landing page. I will use Extra 2 or Extra Club as a alias for the same system. This is our first and only customer so far. So after logging in, we Circle K ID decided that this user already joined extra, so we don't have to ask him about anything. And we decided to redirect. So what is happening is that we are generating authorization code. This is according to OAuth2 specification, and redirect the browser to extra2 with that code. So this is the response that we will send to the browser, so that it should redirect to extra at Circle K to receive code endpoint, and we will pass the code there. And this is what happens here. We set the code and redirect to extra2, as you can see in the URL. And now this a couple of things happens behind the scenes or without the browser. So extra2 picks authorization code and goes to Circle K directly without the browser. So it uses its own HTTP client and swaps that authorization code. It's a short-term code that's only valid for a couple of minutes, for a token that is valid for a longer period of time. And that token is then used to get information about the user, because in this step, extra2 still doesn't know who has logged in. It only received a token that is valid for calls to Circle K ID on behalf of the user. So the next step is extra2 sends this token to user info endpoint and then finds out who has logged in. And so then extra2 can query things like name, email, phone number, and display that in some sort of a welcome page to the user. So this for instance, this name is taken from that call. And if you enter the details here, they are probably loaded from Circle K as well as from the extra2 backend, as far as those cards are concerned. Now, this is how SSO is implemented in OAuth2. This is that vanilla version. This is very similar to how other SSO implementations work. And I would like to let me check what is the other slide is a bit further away. So in other systems, this is very similar. OAuth2 works almost exactly the same as Central Authorization Service, also known as CAS. If you have worked with that before, then you know that the communication is very similar, with one difference. When you get authorization code, you don't swap that for token, but you, as a response to sending the code, you get user information. And this is because CAS is only designed for user authentication. It isn't the form of sharing user data. OAuth is a bit more complicated, and I will explain you why this is happening later on. But at this point, I would like to also tell a bit how SAML works. It is a different protocol of single sign-on and authenticating users. So in SAML, there is no communication between Extra and CircleKid. In SAML, the authorization code would actually include user information, so that additional communication isn't necessary. And in order to be able to respond full user information to the client, to the client that is in this case Extra2 through the browser, we need to have we need to ensure that the browser or the user in the browser which actually receives that redirect doesn't tinker with it. And in SAML, this is done by signatures. So authorization server, or identity provider, as it is known in SAML, would create an XML document describing the user and then sign it with its key. And that document would be, with this signature, would be sent to Extra, and then Extra, with the knowledge of the key, that is having the public key, could verify that this is actually signed, and everything that was signed in that response. This is called in SAML assertion, is valid, and it can believe that the user that is stated there is the one that actually logged in. OAuth 2 and its extension OpenID Connect, which is built on top of OAuth 2, enable similar usage scenario in which we actually send a JSON Web Token, which is a signed JSON object that we can trust that it contains the right data. So OAuth 2 actually gives you a lot of flexibility. And later on, I will talk about how that flexibility, what that flexibility gives you, in addition to being able to log in users using a single login gateway. Yeah, that was it. So now I will go into the genesis of OAuth 2. So actually the side effect of OAuth 2 protocol is that you can use it to simulate single sign-on or implement single sign-on. The core problem that was that authors of OAuth were facing was that I have a let's say I have a printing service, and I would like to enable my users to be able to print pictures that they store on a different service. Let's say Picasa, if you remember that's now Google Photos. So the user has some resources somewhere that I don't know how to get, but I can provide additional functionality on top of those resources. And OAuth 2 tried to build a standard form in which the user could give access to part of his data to another service, so that he can get some bonus out of it. In this case, print his photos that he stores on a different service. And the exactly the same mechanism can be used to solve that problem. So in implementing that in OAuth 2, you would point the browser to the printing service, and then say, I want to print some photos using that I store on Picasa, let's say. And then printing service would redirect you with a query or inquiry for a token. This token would let printing service for a temporary period access your pictures, so that it could render them on their service, so that you could select which one you wanted to print, and then get the full pictures and actually print them and then send you, or made it available for pickup. So this is exactly the same thing. We would redirect in a similar fashion to get to the good token from Picasa. And in this case, Picasa actually encompasses the picture service and OAuth 2 service. In our case, we are putting OAuth 2 service in CircleK-ID as a separate to all of our services, but in any bigger organization, this eventually happens. So the picture service then display login screen, because you need to verify who you are, and they know that, and then ask you whether you want to share photos with Print24com. So this printing service, and if you agree, Then they say they send authorization code. The printing service exchanges that code for a token, and this token is valid for, let's say, an hour, and it's only valid to ask about your photos. So they cannot, if you, for instance, had a calendar, like in Google Calendar there, they couldn't get any information on calendar. So the token is scoped, and the scope is only the thing that you were presented here. That there was a question whether you want to share your photos with Print24com. And OAuth 2 is very flexible. You can define very fine-grained scopes for the user data. So you can ask very specific things like, should the service be available to get to your photos even after you log out, or only while you log in, and things like that. And then you can even define subsets of resources that you want to share. But in this situation, let's say you just give access to all of your photos, then you send the token, then the Picasa sends the token, and this printing service can get the token, can get photos with that token, and then present you with a page to select photos. Then you can then order either to your home or some other way delivered to you. So that is this main mechanism, and we kind of implement that already with our mobile app. So Extra 2 has also a mobile application that is available to on phones, on Android and iOS. And we do similar stuff for them right now. So it's, if in your project you wanted to have a mobile application, then you can now see how it's done. So you have a general overview of what it takes to integrate mobile application with Circle K ID and your service. So mobile application actually asks us directly for a token. This is done a bit differently than web application, than web login in Extra 2, because mobile application is not a secure client, so it doesn't actually, it cannot store a password. So we need to do that a bit differently, and we use something called password credentials grant, so that mobile application actually asks for a password. But this is done exactly like Facebook application does. So that's not something that would be outside of the accepted standards right now. Although there are other ways of evading this. So mobile app gets a token and then asks Extra about information about the user. So the token itself, in this case, is valid for two types of usage. First, Extra application can ask CircleKid who the user is through the user info endpoint that I showed earlier, and this token is valid for that. And as well, this token is valid for asking Extra, so the Extra web backend, what is the current status of the user in Extra program. I didn't prepare the mobile application because it's super difficult to present that. But if you were able to use it, the same information that appears on this page appears on mobile application, and these statuses are read from Extra backend. And what Extra does when they receive queries with the token? Well, there are two options. Currently, we only implement the first one. And this is just send the token to Circle K ID and validate that if this is still correct and the user didn't, for instance, revoke this application, or he didn't change his passwords, things like that. And if this is correct, Circle K ID says that the usage of this token is fine, and then Extra sends back information about this particular user to mobile application. The other way that we are thinking about implementing is omitting this step, but instead signing the token and using JSON Web Token so that extra web backend would be able to verify signature. And if the signature is okay, then it means that this is actually the token issued by Circle KID for the mobile application in question, and it can receive, it can return information about user status of participation in extra program to that mobile application without additional call to validate the token. So this is very similar, and yeah, any questions to that? Or okay, perhaps most of the people are on YouTube and they can't ask. So yeah, if you have any questions, just ask on our Slack channel or hit directly to one of our team members, Megan, Anders, me, Monica.
You can check the YouTube chat as you're going along. If you wanna.
How do I find that?
It's on the Avengers channel on Slack.
Okay.
But there currently are none. I'm looking at it, so
Yeah.
no
Okay.
questions.
Vegard says it's crystal clear. Perfect.
All right. I can ask questions from the chat, so if anyone wants to use my voice, they can ask a question in the chat, and I will relay it.
Yeah. So another question that you might have is how to integrate with Circle KID when you want to use that in your project. So admittedly, we're not really, we haven't developed a lot in that regard, but we have a first client, which is Extra. It has some form of integration, but it's done entirely on Extra side with our help. But what we plan to do is we plan to provide a small library that would take over vast majority of things related to single sign-on. Whenever we are talking about something more involved than single sign-on, then we'd probably have to expand on that. So the idea is to provide a small library containing Jersey resources. And they would define a couple of endpoints. First, the receive code endpoint. This is the first one that receives authorization code and swaps that for token. And a couple of other endpoints like logout, which is needed for single sign-out, and perhaps also a login so that you don't have to deal with things like which address on Circle KID side should be used for login. You would just redirect to your login endpoint on your application, and then our resources would take over, connect to Circle KID, receive the code, and then replace, swap that for token, and then just give you the token and some helper methods to read, for instance, user information from Circle KID. So that library would also probably implement some classes representing a first user session and the user data itself. Yeah, and I think that the first project that will undergo this way is FES, Fuel e-Services. We didn't do that yet, but I think this is what we have agreed with guys from FES and SAS as well. So that will be our first step. But if somebody wished to receive something else than Jersey services like Jersey filters or Jetty filters, if you wanted to work around Jersey for some reason, we can prepare those as well. That shouldn't be very difficult to prepare. Going in the future, Circle KID is also what we are aiming for this service. But the aims are ambitious, but I think we can dream about that service. So what we want to do is to make that more similar to Google services, Facebook services, so that we actually build services around CircleKit that contain user data that might be attractive to other third parties. For instance, I'm not sure if you are aware of things like model payments. I think it's yeah. So model payments is a funny project that lets you it's a sort of exchange of various loyalty program points. So in this way, you could actually use your points that, for instance, you store in extra program to do some sort of shopping in other places, or to, for instance, swap your points or sell them for real money. So, for instance, if you amassed a lot of points in extra, you might try to sell it on model payments or swap them to some other loyalty points in some other program that, for instance, you're more likely to use. So that's one of the points in which third parties like this model payment would be interested with integrating with extra. And that would also mean that at least part of our users would be more interested joining extra program, because that opens more avenues of using their loyalty to our brand. And likewise, the project that IFS is pushing, that is connected car, if we were able to build a large database of information about the users that are using our devices in their cars, we would also become more attractive to services or third parties that want to use that information to offer users additional services. So, and this is the overall goal of Circle KID, to become a hub for governing and making users' data available to different purposes. This is far future, but right now we are slowly getting there. And actually, this model payments is actually this is an interesting avenue that I think that extra team should investigate in near future. So I guess that all my subjects are depleted right now. So to summarize, Circle KID is primarily a login gateway for new Circle K services right now, but we aim to be much more than this in the future, and be able to govern data of users stored in various services, and ideally in the future make those data available to third parties, so that users can choose which data they want to share with what, and they feel like in control of what we store about them. Yeah. I think that is all. Thank you all for listening. Are there any additional questions to that?
There was one on YouTube from Nils. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the SSO. Yeah. This is, I think. I'm trying to figure out if Eve's asked. No, that's not a question. Okay, so to answer Modestas, yes, single logout is implemented. What we have implemented is a front channel solution. That is, you do that from the browser using Ajax calls. However, the extra program, extra application didn't have enough time to implement it, and they do not participate in single logout currently. This is actually a broken part in extra, and I think they need to fix. So I can't really show that to you. I could show that on my sample application how this works. So if you're interested, I can try to launch something locally and show how it works.
To jest ale ostatnio. Znaczy to, co oni spełnili.
Okay, so you think about more questions, and I will try to present something to Modestas.
Ja dostaję informację, albo ja, aby widzę, że nie poszedł i puszczam go jeszcze raz. No. Tutaj jeszcze. No to możemy dotykać, bo mail do nich poszedł. Ja Ci mogę sforwardować mail, o której godzinie poszedł ostatnie 7 dni update do nich. Dlaczego dzisiaj rano to zaszło dopiero?
Okay, so I'm going to show it with only local client, with one client, and that will log out from both Circle K ID and itself. Let me get to. So this is. Can anyone see? Can everyone see the screen now?
Yep.
Okay. So let's log in to this application using Circle K ID. I will show you also what is going on the network side. So as you can see, I'm authorizing. I was logged in there. Okay, false start. Oh no, I've got that reconfigured to be run on the test. Okay, you need to give me 1 more minute.
Ona mnie pyta, jaki numer karty.
Okay, let's try again. Okay, so we are now redirected to our login gateway. I will log in here, and since this is the first time that I'm trying to access demonstration application, I will be asked if I really want to do that. And when I allow, I arrive at my application again. And then I can click single logout, which will hopefully we'll see in the network here what is happening. Okay, so we have went to our customer application on Circle K ID. This is port 8080, and then we have sent a Ajax call to. Yeah, I think. No, maybe not. Maybe I should show this one. Yeah, and these are calls that are there is options somewhere, I believe. Yeah, this is options. So this relies on the course being configured correctly between Circle K ID and the client. So this is a bit involved, but that was the easiest to implement in our time frame. So I choose to implement front channel. So and that one is actually the post that logs you out from the client application. So when that is done, you are redirected back to the application that you started the logout from. So this way, we are able to log you out from all of the services. It's a bit the back channel implementation would involve redirecting through all of the hosts and then invalidating session there. So now that also that is possibly easier to configure because you don't have to deal with things like CORS or other issues with perhaps with JavaScript on Circle KID side, but it actually adds additional risk that one of the hosts will not respond, and then your logout will stop, and you'll have to implement some means of continuing. But I think this current implementation is enough, and we can implement different approaches for that when they become necessary, and yeah.
But in practice, there is no real way of making sure that one of the hosts, as you call it, holds on to the token and uses it to have a session with that user. Is there?
Can you repeat?
Like if for Extra2, they can choose to give a token to the user, and they decide the session duration for that token when it comes to logging into Extra2 without going through you guys. It's not like Extra2 validates the token with Circle KID on every request that the user does in Extra2.
Yes, that is true. So the thing is that Extra2 then decides how long the sessions should take.
Yeah, and then that's a cookie or something on the Extra2 domain.
Yes, that is how it's done. And what we can do when a user, for instance, tries to block that, he can only invalidate the token on his side. So the token that Extra2 received will be invalid to use anymore. But if the user cannot reach his session in the browser that he started, then he is unable to make that go away. That's invalidate that. So if he loses access to Extra2, for instance, then that session might be used a bit longer, but the token that was provided there for his data will not be usable. So only things that are viewable on Extra site by means of the session that was created will be available.
Yeah, that means that you can't log out from like a boss from Circle KID in practice.
No. You actually can do it. So if I log in again, we are actually remembering that this client received the token, and when you log out from Circle KID, even if your session needs to be recreated, let me show that. If I just log out from Circle KID, we will actually go to these clients that were authorized during this session and ask them to log out. So this is.
But then you have to trust that they actually do it, which you can never guarantee.
Yes, I can't guarantee that. That's true, but
that's my point.
Yeah, but
if you can do it as a courtesy,
but
you can never
if you
guarantee.
federate in single sign-on with us, then you need to. I mean, we need to verify that you are actually able to do that. So federation in single sign-on is only meant for our internal applications. Most of the time, whenever you are logging through Google to some other service like Stack Overflow, Google doesn't log you out from it anytime. So this is the difference. Being federated in single sign-on is meant for our applications, and other
it's because you trust those applications to actually log you out.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Do we have any more questions? I will check. No. Doesn't look like it.
Okay,
then
so
thank you very much for your presentation. It was nice.
Yes, thank you for listening.
Learned a lot. And then I have a question from the committee of the roundtable. If anyone has anything that they would like to present, any topic that they would like to learn more about or that they would like to share with the rest of the team, then please drop me or Piotr or Yves or basically anyone. Just take it up in the Adventures channel even. that you want to learn something or present something, and we will schedule a new meeting, probably after summer now. It's really important that we share the knowledge and the lessons that we learn along the way, so that we can prevent each other from doing the same mistakes and do the good things and stay away from the bad stuff.
I'm probably gonna do something, but I haven't decided the topic yet.
Cool, perfect. All right, that's it, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to this live broadcast on YouTube.
Thank
If
you,
you have
guys.
any comments on the format this time, then of course we also like feedback on that. All right, bye everyone.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.